Jesus, there you are. You must be in air conditioning right now because you're wearing a sweatshirt. But if you want to walk us through a little bit, this is an image from I think it was 2017 that I
Yes.
took before we actually even met each other. Can you talk a little bit about what we're seeing and how it came to be?
Yeah. So I mean, this is the summer of 2017. I had moved back from New York, and I was, I think I moved back in early, late 2016, and I bought this trailer in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The reason being is I moved back because I wanted to start a business. I was ready to plant my seeds in Milwaukee. I looked at my bank account and I said, what can I really do? And the most viable option for me at the time was buy a trailer, convert it into a kitchen, a mobile kitchen, and just start telling your story through food. So when I bought the trailer, I started looking for location. Walker's Point has always had like a lot of significance to me. The reason being, my parents immigrated in the late 70s. My father used to work at Pfister and Vogel. So this was, First Street was his main route to get to Pfister and Vogel. When my mother was working, she used to work at a factory in Walker's Point, right off of 3rd in Florida, which is now a new development. But at the time, it was like they used to make hats, like wool hats. So they'd always tell us stories of the neighborhood. They met at Guadalupe, which was, I believe it's called Holy Trinity back in when it first opened up. And I believe it's like the second Catholic church that offered Spanish Mass. And that's where they met. So there's a lot of history. I grew up on 17th and Scott, which is not considered Walker's Point, but it's a neighboring neighborhood. So it was part of my story. And if I'm sharing my story through food, it's important that I'm planted there. I reached out to the owner of the lot. We worked out a deal. I was able to be there, and really, in that location is really like the entrance to like Milwaukee, Third Ward, downtown. So it's really like you can't avoid it. You're gonna find out what the story is behind Mazorca because we're present. So that's what led me to being there on First in Pittsburgh.
For sure. And it's yeah, I mean, I probably saw you guys within the first week you were there, because I like you just described. I mean, that's an intersection that people are passing through all the time. It's just a really heavily trafficked one. We're gonna move to another image here. So talk us through this kind of thing. I'm gonna share kind of a whole array of images, but this is sort of the evolution of your time in Milwaukee.
Right. I feel like if you don't shy away from telling your story, I think this is the fruit of that. So not being afraid to let people know, my origin story, that led me to be in a position where I can now provide more opportunities for other food entrepreneurs to tell their stories, create this platform. This is an image of Zocalo, the food truck park. We opened up in 2019, in July of 2019. And I mean, our focus with creating this space was, one, we wanted to cultivate relationships with food entrepreneurs. And we really wanted to create an ecosystem that was going to harvest community. And, with the help of my business partner, Sean Phelan, he is a developer. So we started having conversations early on. I mean, after the first summer of being on First in Pittsburgh, we started having conversations about being able to provide spaces for not just me, but for other vendors. I met Sean Phelan, back when I was like 12 years old. He was very much involved in my middle school. And he was a mentor. And I think that's also very important that we understand the value of mentorship in these communities. But, just kind of like staying on topic, this is a space that we're reaching our 1 year anniversary, I believe at the end of this week. But what I'm the most proud of is when people talk about the space and they just mention how diverse it is, and how they don't feel like, they're shocked that they're in Milwaukee experiencing this.
For sure. So I'm just going to scroll through some images. Ursula or Marcella, do you guys want to, there you are with Lieutenant Governor
Yes, and then Sean Phelan is my business partner. He's
Cool.
the gentleman in the middle.